He's enjoying himself down there. Got perfect weather, mid-80s, nice breeze. Must be nice.
Of course, it must be. As you mentioned earlier, there out there, I posted my TBT pick here from my 10 days in Honolulu, Hawaii, back in September of '99. Wow, yeah, it was cool breeze back in the day. There's no doubt there. Enjoyed my 10 days, and hope Arnold is doing well down there also.
Sure he is. Tell you what, it's already the doldrums of summer. You know, not a whole lot of football news out there. Don't know if you saw, but the Big Orange Caravan made its trip through Chattanooga yesterday.
I did. I've been fortunate to be at the right spot at the right time on the salt mine schedule, but it just did not work out this year for Doc to get down there and view any of that. Do you have any thoughts on it yourself?
Nah, you know, just the normal things. You know, I think that I talked to somebody that was there that talked to him, and really Butch gets it. Tennessee football. You know, I haven't. After Fulmer left, this is from a buddy of mine, and I agree with him here. You know, I didn't know if there was a coach that I'd get behind a coach like this again, you know, like that again. And I just hard to find somebody that really embraces the Tennessee program. And I think we've got one now, finally, after a year of Kiffin and those 3 awful years with Dooley. I think we've got us a coach that even though he's transplanted down here, I think he's starting to bleed orange, and that's good to see. I mean, the guy, you know, I read earlier in the week he told Memphis told the fans of Memphis that loss to Florida, the 10-9 loss to Florida, was probably the lowest he's felt in his career. And,
well, that was a struggle of a game, wasn't it?
It was. And but for, you know, that's what you want. You want a guy that it hits hard. You know what I mean? I think we got that finally.
Yeah, you know, when I see in brief interaction I had with him in the Caravan 2 years ago, whatever it was, and of course, good sports here. I toot my own horn, my Butch Jones ball. Hey, look, and the note in the autograph in the newspaper looks remarkably like the autograph on my football here.
Yeah, that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
There, maybe it authenticates it, but yeah, I mean, seriously, there I see the color photo of Butch Jones on the Big Orange Caravan passed last night. There.
Yeah, last night.
Last night shows him with his Tennessee lapel tee on there. I'm gonna get me one of those things. I've got my Big Orange. For those of you looking on the World Wide Web at WOOPFM.com, can see me sporting my UTK, University of Tennessee at Knoxville Go Vols orange there. Of course, Jones. Yeah, I believe it. I believe in Butch. Believe in Butch.
More so than that buffoon Dooley.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that I still can't even remember the circumstances behind that hire. Unbelievable.
Fortunately, we're looking forward now. But we're getting a call in here. Let's see who's calling in. You're on Good Sports.
Hello, Tom and Doc. How's it going?
What's going on, big man?
I say most as far as I know, we do have a football game coming up 22nd, don't we?
Yeah, we do. That's next Friday.
Really?
Yeah. Alumni game.
Oh no.
Yeah, Cleveland Bradley.
Whoa.
Part 2.
I don't know why they keep it so quiet for, Tom.
I don't either. You'd think that there'd be a little bit more, talking it up.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm not for sure if it's going to be one or not.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't heard anything otherwise.
Next Friday night, the 22nd?
Yeah, at Bradley.
That's where it was last year, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. They thought it was going to be at Cleveland, but for whatever reason, it's going to be at Bradley. I would say probably has something to do with all the construction that's going on over there.
Yeah, and the trouble they got into. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it.
Well, Bradley's in the same trouble, so.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Since I've been on these airwaves, the Cleveland High Blue Raiders fell victim or victimized their own self or whatever there.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about Tennessee a while ago. How do you guys think Tennessee is going to do this year?
I think I see about I'm looking at probably 8-4, 9-3 as a realistic shot at it. Arnold and me went over the schedule a little bit either last week or the week before. I don't know. They all run together.
I think that was the week I was here.
Yeah, and when you look at the schedule, I honestly think a team with 3 losses in the East could potentially win the division. I don't think that Georgia's as strong. I don't think South Carolina's as strong. Florida is, of course, down. Got a new coach. The talent is down there. On the offensive side of the ball, they're gonna be a good defensive team, but they're down on the offensive side of the ball. And then Vanderbilt and Kentucky are normally they're going to be their normal selves. So I think Tennessee's got certainly a chance to be the upper echelon of the SEC East. And if some things fall the right way, they could be playing in Atlanta.
How do you think Georgia's going to be?
I think Georgia's, there's enough talent down there. They're always going to be good, but they still don't have a quarterback named yet.
Oh, yeah.
As a starter, and they've got a great running game. They've got a good defense, but Georgia's always good for that loss or two that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So. So I look at that, and then you look at South Carolina, and they're replacing a quarterback. They were a little disappointing last year on both sides of the ball. Tennessee, they had Tennessee beaten basically 14-point lead with right around 2.5 minutes to go, and Tennessee comes back and gets it into overtime and then beats them.
How long are you guys gonna be there or not?
I don't know. Well, at least another 45 minutes to an hour anyway.
I'd like to come by and show Doc something if I may. I won't be there long. Just show him my souvenir I got at Cleveland High School.
Okay.
And he asked me to. I told him the last time I saw him I was going to bring it and show it to him. And but anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys are starting to get a routine there again. But I know it's no sports hardly been going on, and so you can only do what you can do.
Well, the sports that's been going on were, between Arnold having his family things going on and my son playing baseball, that's what kept us out of here. Now, I know I won't be here. I should be in here next week, and then 2 weeks from now, I'll be in Florida.
Yeah, Doc works at Salt Mine.
Yeah, Doc.
Yeah.
So, but so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there'll be a show in 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure we'll be here next week.
All right, guys. I may try to swing by there in a little bit and just talk my souvenir.
All right, that'll be fine.
Well, thank you, guys.
All right.
You the man there, Bullet. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to answer Bullet there, but sharing the numbers with you there. Bullet, thank you for asking. Doc, a little under the weather here on injured reserve. 2 teeth worked on, 2.5 hours, 16 pills to go, 17 pieces of gauze running in and out of my mouth.
Let's see who we got here. You're on Good Sports.
Hey, Doc. Is Doc there?
He's here for a minute.
Hey, Doc.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, listen. I work amongst about, maybe 1,500 people. I mean, I have to send my specs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This Sid, I work at Catnap. I'm an engineer. I've had a lot of people complain about the price going up.
Salt.
I don't mean to change the subject. I don't mean.
Oh, sure you do, Sid. You never on subject with what we're talking about.
Price of salt. We're working on it. We're fixing to put in an additive down there that the boys in the back have been working on.
I was fixing. I mean, no. I was listening to every word you're saying. I don't mean to change the subject. They were talking about Cleveland Speedway. That's sports too, ain't it?
We ain't mentioned Cleveland Speedway.
Huh?
We hadn't mentioned Speedway the first time in the first 15 minutes being here.
That's sports too.
Yeah, but we hadn't talked about it.
Oh, well.
Anyway, go ahead with it.
I can say about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've had some complaints, from people that did go down there about it going up from 10 to 15.
They need the money. Price of gas up, I guess, to pay for that A hobby, B hobby, and all that fuel.
Yeah.
I'm no guru. No guru on that's just my opinion and or guess.
Yeah. well, they improved everything down there, according to some people. You know, they had went, a lot of people that had went, but when they started going, when they went up on the pass, a lot of people didn't go. But I didn't mean to change the subject there.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead. This is the time of year. If you need to change the subject, go ahead.
Well, I thought that was sports.
It is. It is. And hey, unfortunately, everything goes up.
Tell Arnold I said hi and everybody that's there. Who else is there?
It's just me and Doc tonight. Arnold is sitting at the beach with his toes in the sand.
Oh, well, okay.
Or at least sitting on the balcony staring at the sand anyway.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Doc wanted to say hello to Doc, and boy,
my man.
I miss his shows when he comes on, and miss that DJ voice he got and everything.
Doc's a little under the weather this week. Ain't quite got my voice on this week. We'll see if we can do it here soon.
Yeah, I hope you do, Doc.
All right, good buddy.
All
Appreciate
right,
your tip.
Hey, thanks for the call, buddy.
Yeah, I listen quite a bit all the time. I miss every once in a while, but I usually keep it tuned in because I don't even watch TV. I stay in my garden and listen to WOOP.
Whoop.
99.
You the man.
FM on your dial.
That's right. Thank you, sir. You have a good one.
Okay.
All right. And that number for Whoop is 614-5553. If you want to jump in and talk with us, we'll talk whatever sports you want to talk tonight. It's the off season. You got some baseball to go over, a little bit of Braves. They've lost 5 of the last 6.
Par for the course, yeah. Just, I know recently they lost 5-4, and I'm telling you, the research will show that Atlanta Braves have lost more games by a score of 5-4.
Oh, yeah.
And just in some of them in the worst way, and the ex-Braves are haunting stew out of them.
Yep. You're on Good Sports.
Well, let's see. We're talking about everything. Can I talk about hockey?
Sure. That's sports, ain't it?
It's just open house. Huh?
That's right. It's sports. What about hockey? Who are you pulling for in the playoffs?
I'm just being mean.
Well, Predators are out, so I don't really care about them.
I say horse hockey.
Yeah, that's it. Horse hockey. I heard y'all talking about Tennessee and Georgia. You think Tennessee's going to beat Georgia? No, they're not.
I didn't say I was. I said Tennessee would probably lose 3 games. I didn't say which 3.
They're not going to beat Georgia.
Okay.
I'd bet on that. I'm going to bet on that.
It wouldn't be the first time, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
And it won't be the last time, will it?
No, it won't. I will bet.
I can't remember where that game's at. Is it at Big Orange?
Yeah, it's at Knoxville.
Oh, Red.
Hey, Doc. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I've been in the old dentist chair there for 2.5 hours yesterday.
Did you cry?
Wanted to, didn't you?
Yeah. No, after four shots of whatever it was, I wasn't fit to cry. No.
What did they give you, Novocaine?
Oh, it worked. I'll tell you that. It took 4 doses of it, but I'm on the way to recovery. Thank you for asking.
Okay. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you there. Thank you.
Okay, I've aggravated enough.
That's all right. Talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Tom Brady, 4-game suspension by the NFL. Will it last? We don't know, but 25% of the season, is that too harsh of a penalty, or is that about par for the course?
Where'd my gavel? I think it's par for the course. Are you like me, holding out hope that it wasn't true or there'd be no fact to it, or did you have a gut feel it was true?
Oh, you knew it was true, but it just goes back to if players in that position, there's a lot of them that if they can gain a little bit of an advantage, they're going to do it. But I think the NFL handled it the right way. I mean, if in NASCAR, if you caught doing things to your car, you docked, points, potentially suspended. In baseball, if they find find sandpaper in your glove, or find your cork bat, you get suspended for 5-7 games. On the flip side of that, when you look at it in percentage wise, I mean, you look at 4 games in the NFL. That's, like I said, 25% of the season. If you look at baseball, if you're suspended for 6 or 8 games out of a 162 game schedule, it doesn't mean as much to your team. But to knowingly do it, and to do it in big playoff games like that, yeah, I think there should be a harsh penalty. And I think that Roger Goodell almost had to step up there and make that penalty. Now, whether it sticks or not, once the players union gets a hold of it and files their grievance and it goes into courts and all that other crap, who knows? But as of right now, Brady will be sitting the first 4 games. But here's a great example of, people love to compare Brady and Peyton Manning, and while you're hearing about Brady and deflated footballs and everything, let me read you this little clip from 247 Sports about Peyton Manning. Sabrina Montgomery is a mother of 3 battling breast cancer, and her journey was featured on NBC's Today Show on Thursday after her daughter wrote into the show regarding its Everyone Has a Story segment. Before being diagnosed with breast cancer last year, Montgomery gave birth to her 3rd child, Brody, more than 2 years ago. Doctors determined Brody had Down syndrome 3 months after he was born, and then discovered a hole in his heart. They gave him 3 years to live at most. A determined Montgomery found the best help she could for her son after an open heart surgery at Boston Medical, our Children's Hospital. He's healthier than ever. Now fighting through breast cancer. The Today Show presented her with various gifts and closed the segment with one last surprise. And it was a clip from Peyton Manning, a video clip from Peyton Manning. Said, "I just wanted to tell you that I hear that you're a big fan of mine, and I appreciate that," Manning said in the video. "And I wanted you to know that I'm a big fan of yours, and I'm pulling for you and praying for you and your family. I wish you all the best." It's a simple gesture, but, so nice to see some positive stuff instead of the normal stuff that you're seeing out of football players, and athletes in general nowadays. There's a lot more good out there. Unfortunately, the negative is what makes news, and so that's what you see a lot of. Dante Culpepper, the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm hearing you there. You're right on target there. It is good to hear something good.
And, you hear that kind of stuff about Manning all the time. And, tons of – glad he represents the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be any barroom brawls anytime soon, or somewhere else at 3:02 in the morning and wind up.
Yeah, he's not going to be on the police blotter. Yeah. That's
hauled off in a paddy wagon. But as we slightly change it here just a little bit, looks like Mr. Bullitt stopped by, and I see right here it's an official NFL ball. I can recognize it by the commissioner. We just talked about one Roger Goodell.
26 players at Cleveland High School signed up.
Yeah, I see that. National Football League. And these are who again, Bullitt?
Raekwon Bunyan, T.J. Parker, Austin Massey.
These are, this is from the...
That's really the Jacob Morrison. That's really the players that play.
Mm-hmm, the Cleveland High School football team from last year.
From last year. Okay, awesome, yeah. Well, this will be worth the mint someday. Me already be.
Hey, how about theirs?
Test your luck on eBay. Yeah, Red's tried to suggest what I do with that big orange Butch Jones football a couple of times, and wasn't very nice. So we'll keep it under wraps there.
It's getting a little low on our. I'm not taking
Yeah, we got to compare this. Yeah, I think this has been a hold. I don't know. I think yours may have been handled by the Tom Brady.
Is it deflated a little bit?
Henchman there.
I was told that Cleveland's athletic director told me not to put our in it, but you got to put our in.
No, you don't have to put not for what you've got. I mean, you don't have to put much in it. I mean,
I got a needle, Tommy, and I put it down in there, and it hit something. I'm afraid to keep punching it, afraid I'm going to deflate it.
No, you're not going to.
Yeah, just see.
It's got to seal a little bit, so
Yeah.
So you wet the needle a little bit, put it down in there, push it through.
Even though it hits something.
Yeah. Yeah. And it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good momentum there.
Memento.
Memento. That's
Momentum is a physics term.
It's real close on it. I think it's where my
There's
blame it on
story
my
behind this,
Novocaine.
too, if I may say it real fast.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually went over. Let's play in East Hamilton Hurricanes. I was wearing green, and anyway, I was wearing green, and I looked up. East Hamilton was in green, so I told the athletic director. I said I can't go out there. So he went and got me a Cleveland Blue Raiders sweatshirt. So I got a Blue Raiders sweatshirt out of the deal.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go out there green, huh?
No.
I was a Cleveland High School fan.
That's right.
But no, I just thought I'd come out and see you guys for a minute, and I appreciate you guys. And,
Yeah, that's a good looking ball there.
I've been in some bad health here lately. And I got to go to the doctor tomorrow to see if I got skin cancer.
Bullet, we're rooting for you, buddy. You've toughed it out many times. We wish you the best here. Hope you continue on.
Oh, pro day hard. I mean, I come down to that.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you in our prayers.
Well, I really don't know if it's skin cancer or not, but I'm going to get checked, make sure.
Well, you might as well.
Yeah.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
And give Arnold a shout out for me, too.
Yeah.
Maybe Arnold break away from the tiki torches.
You hadn't been laying in the tanning beds, have you?
No.
That's my job.
Oh, okay.
Get us confused.
We was talking about that game earlier, the Bradley Cleveland. I'm not a gamer. You won't be here to go, will you?
No, I will be. Yeah, I should be here.
Are you going to go?
Next Friday night, the 22nd. I can't remember if I'm scheduled for the salt mine or not. It's a possibility. Let me put that on my radar here.
I don't know who I was going to play.
Secret
Cleveland's
lineups.
coach was a helping them beat them last year.
Yeah.
He was playing.
Floyd, I don't know. Was there an MVP in that game or
It could have been Floyd.
just a participation trophy? There's just no telling. But, yeah, I'll put that on my radar at Bear Stadium next Friday night.
Yeah.
Next Friday night, 22nd.
Keep it in tradition with the Friday night lights and all that. Put that on my radar.
Back and eat me something, and I thought I'd run by real fast and see Doc.
That it? Yeah, yes, sir.
And,
Nice.
me and Doc, we used to see each other sometimes at
Do drop in.
one pro days play. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going, and I'm proud of this. And
I would be too. I'd always hold and cherish that thing.
Austin Massey was the last one signed it.
Mm-hmm.
Good deal, right there below the seam there, so to speak. Good job.
I can't wait till football season starts.
Oh,
We're raring and ready.
Can't wait, guys. Good to see you, then, Doc.
You too,
Tony.
Bullet. Good to see you, partner. Take care. We'll see you soon.
good luck tomorrow.
Buddy.
Guys, take it easy.
All
All
right.
right, Bullet. Thanks for sharing that with us. Ball for all ages there, so to speak. There, timeless and priceless. Some of those guys may go on to be a Hall of Fame career. Started right there at CHS.
And here's something for you don't hear every day. Most Tennessee's players are enjoying a break before the start of summer workouts, while a portion of the teams decided to stay on campus and enroll in May mini-session courses. Junior quarterback Joshua Dobbs is spending his free time working on something else. Dobbs, who is a aerospace engineer, is completing an internship with West Palm Beach, Florida, with Pratt & Whitney, a global aerospace manufacturer. You don't hear that very often out of a football player, do you?
He's gonna, let me guess, on his inaugural trip to the moon or whatever they do. I bet he slips on a game ball. Slips a game ball on board.
Yeah. See if game balls deflate in the.
Yeah, running a scientific test. The game on Mars one day.
Says here that Coach Jones isn't worried that Dobbs' off-the-field pursuits will hinder his preparations for the upcoming season. Josh Dobbs can handle that. He's proven that he can handle it. Not many people can balance academics and being a starting quarterback with that curriculum. Dobbs has been able to do that, but he's also been able to do it exceptionally well, both academically and athletically.
Yeah.
So it won't interfere at all. Yeah, those are the kind of guys you want as your leaders on a football team right there.
Dobbs, yeah. Excuse me. Best of luck to him there in his aeronautical endeavors there. Very good, very good. Yes, you do not hear that often. Drifting back to the kind of still on the topic of the cheating and all that. We talked about the court bat thing. Do you remember that? Was it Albert Bell when he got caught with the court bat, and then they put it? One of the umpires put it in their dressing room, and he put the ball boy or water boy or somebody up to shimmying over the umpire's locker room, and then they wind up falling through the what do you call this?
The ceiling
drop
tiles
ceiling there. Yeah, all that. Can you believe that?
Oh yeah. Tell you what, he was a character.
Oh, Albert Bell. Then he changed his name at one point. In his
Joey.
career. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then of course I saw him play with the Baltimore Orioles when they came in. I'd forgotten about that to Chattanooga for that exhibition game in April 1st, 2000. He came in. Actually, yeah, he came in with the Orioles. I think he wore number 88. Not sure what that represented, but old Albert Bell and that court bat thing. I mean, there's been some ringers out there, and this Tom Brady, I mean, is a guy that dumb, or it just the text message, phone trail, and loose.
Yeah, in this day and age, if you're going to do something, don't send it on a text. Don't send it on an email. Don't take.
I don't even think about it.
Don't. Yeah.
Hey.
Doc Hollywood was in on Good Sports.
I was starting to call the fro man. He was too busy talking about the blood drive.
I see you couldn't get anybody else.
No, couldn't.
We might see you tomorrow there, Fro Daddy, if
The German soccer player's leaving.
Sunshine and rain. We know where it's at now. Fro Daddy's convertible pan tomorrow night at Cambridge Square, Ooltewah, Tennessee, the pavilion down there in the GF. We made our drop in appearance down there a couple of months ago.
Yeah, well,
convertible party band, always a good time.
A good time, huh?
Oh, absolutely there. But yeah, cheaters. I mean, Brady. I mean, back to that thing. I guess for a minute, I don't know. The paper trail. I just still can't digest it.
Yeah, in this day and age, why would you send a text message or send text messages over something?
You mentioned gamesmanship and all that and the name of that, but I just don't know. I don't know what the words are for it. I want to say something. I don't think those words could be aired. For
yeah, better not. Here's an interesting story. Well, not an interesting story, but just kind of a little sports break here. 10 worst stadiums ever built.
10 worst, and is this football, basketball, baseball?
Running the gamut.
Are any of them still? Give me a clue. Are any of them still in operation?
One of them just ended last year. Candlestick Park was number 10.
Candlestick Park had wasn't it known for having the clay crushed brick for the dirt to keep the wind from blowing in the player, dirt blowing in the player's eyes?
Since you like to go back in time, Doc is trying to figure out how to get that DeLorean back up to 88 miles an hour to go back to 1988. But this is going back a little further than that. What concert did Candlestick Park? What is it really
known for? I think I've heard this before. I'm drawing a blank. Give me a clue. Candlestick Park, the Beatles, the Who, Stones.
The Beatles' last performance was at Candlestick Park
I've heard
in 1966.
That before. Yeah. Oh, very good. Wow. Let's see, current stadiums in, I would say the Boston Green Monster, Green Wave, and all that stuff. The construction of that, configuration of that park, and along with the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, which the Cubbies, they're redoing the bleachers this year. They got a big screen there now. To me, that's not necessary. I mean, it's Wrigley. It doesn't need to be a big screen there. I don't need to see replays at Wrigley.
No, but all they need to see is the umpire's blown calls.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh.
Stadium that came in number 9. The Edward Jones Dome at St. Louis.
I don't have an independent recollection of the Edward Jones. That's just a corporate.
It's the dome that
But the Rams played in for years.
Well, they're still there.
Wow, what's the beef with it? Is there a bullet point criticism of the?
Yeah, it says here it's been renovated several times over the years, and including the insertion of new field turf in 2010 and a big LED screen. But it continually receives low marks for the media for affordability and atmosphere. It says here that one cool thing about the Rams is that they can break their lease agreement should the stadium not be ranked among the best in the NFL through the 15 season.
Wow, what a brilliant lease writer they had.
Yeah. Number 8, an interesting one from the past. Joe Louis Arena. Do you know where that's at?
I guess not very far from there, St. Louis.
No, Joe Louis Arena was actually in Detroit.
Detroit, I always, okay.
Yep.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Building, the construction of the building in 79 required $57 million, which isn't bad when you consider that stadiums go for $500 million today. But the stadium's breaking down. There's been few attempts to add luxury boxes. It's where the Red Wings, Detroit Red Wings play.
Okay.
Which you don't see that very much, a dedicated arena to one sport anymore, because Detroit's got the Palace at Auburn Hills for basketball and Ford Field for the Lions. So they don't, only the hockey team plays there.
Gosh, did the Atlanta launching pad, which I never referred to the thing as a launching pad, but in baseball, the Atlanta Braves Fulton County Stadium. Did you ever hear it referred to that?
Oh yeah,
I still just I did not get it that there weren't perennial 40 home run seasons there. I mean, I think Murphy had back-to-back 37, 38, maybe even triple back-to-back high.
Yeah, 82, 83, and 84 he hit 36, 36, and 37.
Sounds about
and
right.
then he jumped up to 44 and 87. But also keep in mind that the talent in the 70s wasn't that great either. Yeah. The 70s and 80s.
As far as
but the ball did seem to travel, especially during the summertime. It did seem to travel there well.
The Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Well, I guess Hank Aaron made that particular stadium. I don't know how many he hit there, but it was quite a few, I would say then. Maybe I stand corrected there. Maybe Atlanta was the launching pad appropriately named.
Number 7 that came out was FedEx Field there in Washington. Several reasons why it's one of the worst stadiums in sports. The stadium lacks basic or the luxuries that most NFL stadiums
No toilets,
have.
let me guess.
No, they got a few toilets. Says a lot of them have to do with the team's owner, Daniel Snyder, who knows how to suck the fun out of stadium environment. There are certain areas of the stadium parking lot where tailgating is not allowed. Having signs in the stadium is outlawed. So it's more for not about the structure of the stadium, but because of the owner there.
Rules and regulations.
Yep. Let's see. Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and I don't know where that's at.
Veterans, it sounds like Philadelphia.
I think it's New York. Yeah, I think it's where the New York Islanders play.
New York Islanders play. Veterans.
Yep.
10 worst stadiums, all major sports included.
Yep. Sleep Train Arena is number 5 in Sacramento, the Sacramento Kings.
Formerly known as let me guess, if I remember what was the other NBA team that was from there, Sacramento, played in, I believe it was originally known as the Arco Arena.
Is that the same arena?
I believe research may show that.
Was that the Golden State Warriors?
Golden State, I believe it was, if we had a chance to Google Arco Arena, I believe we're going to find that was, in fact, wasn't Golden State. I want to say it was the what'd you say it was? San Francisco? Not Sacramento.
Kings?
Didn't they have an NBA franchise back in the day?
Sacramento Kings, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
Kings.
yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
And they transferred.
No,
Still the same thing.
yeah. Still Sacramento Kings.
So you got the Kings, the Clippers.
The Clippers and Lakers are down in L.A.
Yeah.
And in fact, they share the same arena.
Yeah, which is still weird to me.
Yeah, because they no longer use the Forum, the Great Western Forum, the Fabulous Forum.
In Inglewood, California, although
Yeah.
they were Los Angeles Lakers. And is Googled up here, Arco Arena. See, I think it's defunct. We got everything from cakes to moon pies to I think the Arco Arena is defunct.
No, there's got to be a
Arena
gotta be
change over from ice to basketball. So here it is, Sacramento Kings. Yeah, I sure did there. I don't see what this actual Google response is dated here, but yeah.
It is called. Yeah, that's the same arena that was that is now the Sleep Train Arena.
Sleep Train Arena. You got to be kidding me. What happened to the Spectrum in Philadelphia and the you remember the Mecca in Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Back in the day, the Mecca in Milwaukee. Of course,
The Boston Garden.
Boston Garden. Let's see. Let's move down. Let's see. You remember when the Boston Celtics for many years, and they may still do it, played a few of their home games in Hartford.
They don't anymore, but yeah, they used to play them in Connecticut there.
Hartford, Connecticut. A few 6 or 8 home games for whatever reason there. Let's see. Atlanta used to play obviously in the Omni. You move on down to. Let's see. Go up north to see Detroit and the Palace. Well, that's been there forever.
Before the Palace, though, they played. That was around 90 when they moved to the Palace. But before that, they played at the Silverdome.
Pontiac Silverdome.
Which is still standing, and it's in shambles. I don't know if you've ever seen. Google it.
I ran across that thing. It looked pretty barren there.
Yeah, it is.
Of course, the Houston Astrodome.
It's still up.
Still up, barely hanging on, and formerly or currently the some kind of Gasco Field, or what is the name of that thing now? Where they play the baseball year round there. I believe they're
Reliant.
home.
Let's see, Reliant.
Is that it?
I think that's the football stadium. But the Minute Maid Park is what the baseball stadium is.
Minute Maid Park. It sounds like somewhere down in Florida, but I may be wrong on that. The current home.
No, you're thinking of Tropicana Field.
Tropicana Field. There you go. Bill, I was close. Had orange juice mixed up.
Hey, Tropicana Field is the number 4 stadium on the list.
I can believe that thing cookie cutter and by God, whatever has become of Joe Robbie Stadium. Is it defunct?
No, it's still only the Dolphins play there. The Marlins have their own arena.
Oh, okay.
But the Dolphins and the Miami Hurricanes play there.
Very good, very, very good there.
And I'm not sure what it's called this week. It's gone through several name changes. It went from Joe Robbie to Pro Player to Dolphin Stadium.
Well, break your train of thought there, but a little closer to home, Titans home field. Can we name all the corporate logos that it's been?
Right now it's LP. It started out Adelphia.
Check.
Then it moved to just being the Coliseum.
Check.
And I think that's it. I think 3 names.
That may have been it for $5 million we could put it up there.
Put my name on it.
Doc and Tommy Stadium there. Sore tooth really getting
the Whoop Arena.
Whoop Arena. There you go.
The Whoop.
That sounds more like it, if you know what I mean. But well, we're down to nostalgic, going nowhere with this, and people driving down the Interstate 75 accidentally stumbling up on 99.9 FM. Has no idea what 2 amateurs just rattling on here.
Hey,
on a Thursday night. You get what you pay for.
It's a Thursday night, and there's no football to talk about. So
still impressed, Bullet. Thanks again. Special thanks to Bullet bringing by that authentic National League football signed by the current commissioner himself, one Roger Controversial Goodell. Well,
he's a joke.
I don't guess him and Kraft will be having luncheon time together soon.
No, probably not.
Yeah, or be getting any free razors in his. Is it Kraft? No, it's Gillette. Who was Gillette? It was Gillette Stadium. There was
Gillette Stadium is
New England.
No, Kraft. Wait, no. Yeah, it is. It is
Gillette Stadium. So who was Mr. Gillette? Kraft and Gillette the same guy? Did they have the same daddy?
I'm not really sure.
There's something to this here. Well, Roger Goodell may not get his free razors in his stocking for Christmas this year, since he's done expelled the fair-haired child Brady for a minimum of 4 games as of today.
I think that coach should be right there with it, though.
Kraft. Well, they should be handing out people. Let me guess it. To New England's football home games, they hand out free samples of macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yeah. With bacon in it. Because everything's better with bacon in it.
Apparently so. All these bacon fests are going on in our fair country. Yeah. Doc and Tommy here is Doc's a little under the weather, and Tommy's doing his best to Google up, see who Mr. Gillette was, see if they were in the same bloodline.
I'll get you that one in a minute.
Back burner checked out.
I'm trying to go, get back down to the list. We still got three stadiums to go over.
3 stadiums to go over here. 3 stadiums. Mr. Gillette, Mr. Tropicana, Joe Robbie Stadium, Launching Pad, Green Monster, the Mile High. I don't know what they call that thing in Denver, the Orange Crush. I'm talking about nicknames. The Purple People Eaters, which was Minnesota Vikings back in the day with, I guess, Carl Eller and Fran Tarkington. That's off the top of my head.
Number 3 on the list.
Number 3 on the list for terrible stadiums.
Oakland Coliseum.
Oakland Coliseum, where they're mad at. Did you ever see the video of them holding dirt bike races there, motocross?
I know they used to in Atlanta at Fulton.
Yeah,
but
the signature shot or action shot would be when they were going up some 8 to 10 wide sets of steps. There was a stairs just going up into a facade, looked like a Coliseum type of thing there, the motocross races. If I may be mistaken, I think Evel Knievel tried a stunt there one time. Maybe wrong about that, but I know many years ago it was Oakland, Alameda, it was Alameda County Coliseum, and no, I don't pretend to know any more than that because I've only been in California.
I know it's one of the older stadiums in the league right now.
I know at those Oakland football games that back in the day there was documentaries on. You were literally taking your life in your own hands going to those doggone things. I mean, from the fan standpoint, even the ones that were behaving. If they were anything close to what the documentary portrayed there. I mean, the football wives were even sworn off of going, anywhere other than a luxury box, and that wasn't even the best idea.
You know what number 2 is?
Number 2
was?
Let's see. Give Doc a clue here. Number 2, worst stadium ever. Got to give me a player there, perhaps
If I give you a player there,
it would be a dead giveaway.
Oh yeah, Kent Herbeck. 1991 World Series.
Oh, Minnesota Mini-Dome or Astrodome.
Metrodome. Yep.
Metrodome. I was close there. Yeah,
had that
thing.
White roof at.
Wasn't that when the baseball hit? Was that the King? Oh, the Kingdome. There's one.
Kingdome's where
the ball would hit the speaker or something and still be in play, or wasn't one time remember the old slugger, legendary Dave Kingman would hit the roof on maybe more than one occasion. Dave Kingman, that joker, he swung for the fence every time he was up. He was trying to make more strikeouts than Reggie Jackson in a career. That was a feat unmatched. That gave it away. And the number 1, they were saved by the light.
You're on Good Sports.
What do you and Doc think of, Tommy, think of Candlestick Park?
Well, I remember as a kid watching baseball games there, and, it would be middle of July, and you would see people wearing jackets and bundled up with blankets, hot dog wrappers, flying across the field because of the winds coming off the bay there.
Yeah.
But all in all, I enjoyed watching those games there.
You know what's famous about that stadium also?
What's that?
Clint Eastwood made a movie there, Dirty Harry movie made there.
That's right.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah. He actually made one of his movies there at Candlestick Park.
When's Clean Harry coming out?
What's that, Doc?
When's the movie Clean Harry gonna come out?
I actually saw one, not the one you're thinking, but I saw this one here not long ago. Have you guys mentioned any high school? What do you think the worst high school? I don't want to put you on the spot. So you want me to tell you what I think the worst high school stadium is?
The worst in this area?
Yeah.
I
don't know. I don't want you to get in trouble saying on radio. So
I ain't gonna get in trouble.
got.
They can dock my pay, but
I'll give you a hint. It starts with SD.
Soddy Daisy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Arnold would probably agree with that.
Yeah, I was at the infamous rain game where halftime it was delayed forever and a day, and then they found out the next afternoon, Saturday afternoon, it quit raining. That there was
Backed up sewage.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was crappy night all over the place.
I'm glad I didn't elect to go down. I think I left at halftime before they started the second half. That thing, it was raining. It wasn't just raining. It was raining like monsoons down there that night. I think it was Bill Price led team.
Central Purple Pounders over in Hickson Pike. I used to sit on the visitor side there, and one time I went over and sat down. And I went through the bleachers was so rotten. I went through and hit the ground. And I hope they changed it. I don't know if they have or not.
Glad you're all right there, Bullet.
Anyway, guys, I'm appreciating you guys, and I'm gonna keep listening.
All right, appreciate it.
High school stadium.
I don't agree with the number one here, and then we'll move on to what we think about some of the high school stadiums around here. But Rogers Center, which is formerly called the Sky Dome in Toronto, it's listed as the number one worst stadium.
Is that the outdoor, formerly baseball, the Olympic 76?
No, the Rogers Center is the newer one that was built in '89. It's got the 348 room hotel attached to it with 70 rooms that have an actual view of the baseball diamond.
Really?
Yeah.
The baseball diamond. Now hold it. Now the baseball. That's where the baseball is played at.
Yeah.
Center. Okay, I had that.
Rogers Center.
That name was attached to a 4-walled roofed indoor. So Olympic Stadium from 1976 is
to 94, and that's not on the list, and that should be.
Yeah, remember for years and before rules and regulations, and Lord forbid OSHA. I got the ink pen on my top of my ink pen there, OSHA. Anyway, you would see the cracks in the circular cylinder-esque roof. You would see it, and you would think, "Oh, well, I hope it don't fall on those poor people."
Yeah, there was actually a time where a truss or a beam did fall. I think there, but that to me that should be the number one stadium.
Olympic Stadium. It was doomed from the start.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Who was the most famous Toronto Blue Jay ever? Debatable. Come to mind. Tim Raines, maybe.
You mean Expo?
Expo. Yeah. My bad.
I'd say Andre Dawson would be number one, and then Tim Raines if it was me.
That's right. I think Dawson came from there to the Cubs.
Yeah.
That big contract at that time, but Dawson. That's right. He did put in many years there.
Yeah, he 76 to 87, maybe 86.
That
something
sounds
like that.
about right. Dawson. Where is he now?
I think he's still living down in Miami area.
Probably. Maybe.
But around here though, stadiums best, maybe partly biased, but partly just because of the view from either side of the stadium. I think Bradley's got the best stadium in the area.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're sitting on the visitor side, you've got plenty of room. If you're sitting on the home side, I think the views are great. Seating capacity is close to 10,000.
Yep, I think it's 3,500. I've heard before.
On each side?
Each side. It's uniform. Of course, if I'm not mistaken, let's see, my visual says the Bear Stadium's bleachers proper run from end zone
to end zone. And then you can set some people on the banks.
Banks up there. You see you got 7,000 in the stands, You got easy a net 1,500 on each horse shoot in. Then you're at your 10 grand.
Yeah, and that's to me, and I'm again, I'm trying to look at it objectively.
Yeah.
But I think Bradley's got the best. Plus, I like the fact that you're sitting down in a bowl there. It's a stadium that the field's actually below ground level there. And
it's definitely a barrier den there.
Yeah. So let's see who's calling here. You're on Good Sports.
Hey guys, what's going on?
What's going on?
Watching the waves roll in.
Hey, boy, I envy you right now.
Must be nice.
Hey, it's been a nice few days down here, boys.
You the man. I can't think of anybody that deserves it better than you, sir.
Well, thank you. Of course, tomorrow I head back that way, so anyway, stadiums.
Yeah, good, bad, and indifferent.
Yeah. Been sitting there listening to you a few minutes.
Would you agree with me about the best stadium in the area?
I would agree. And to be honest with you, I hear that comment from a lot of fans of other schools that are impressed with Bradley Stadium.
Do you?
Yeah. So somebody had the forethought, the master of design, many moon ago. What Bradley? That field's been there. What's 72, 74 maybe?
Yeah. Well, the school opened in 72. I think is correct.
That's what I want to say. I think, yeah, because I had a cousin that went 2 years at the old school and 2 years at the new school.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I was in the second class that went all 4 years at the new school.
Well, I'm going to have to get your autograph, sir.
But, yeah, and the thing of it is, you look at the message boards and stuff like that when they get on that subject, even some of the other teams that don't like Bradley all own up and say that is one of the best stadiums they've ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, and still some of these little rinky-dink schools that we've been to, I mean, they're still current. They got all the stands on one side, or the visitor stands are not much bigger than these Whoop radio station right here. Just kind of a
I can point to one. East Hamilton is that way, but that's a situation where they've got to raise the money to build the stadium or the stands and everything after they get the field and everything done. So that's a work in progress down there. So I'm not going.
So we'll give them a pass, and we'll revisit them in 5 years, right?
Yeah. I think the last project that was the priority was the lights for the baseball field, and I think they said that the next priority would probably be expanding the stand situation there at the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it might help to build a restroom or two there too.
Yeah.
Well, you have to hold it the whole game?
Well, you have porta potties.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so we both agree on number one. What's the second best stadium in the area? All right.
The second best stadium in the area. Let's see. Gosh, I think the second best stadium to watch a football game in right now has to be Polk County's.
I was thinking the same thing, especially, and it helps that Bradley gets them early in the year when they play there. But you got a nice warm late summer, early fall evening where you're sitting out there, and you got the backdrop of the mountains right there. Mm-hmm. If you're a home, you're rooting for the home team. If you're, on the Bradley side or on the visitor side, you can turn around, you can see the mountains right there. It's a little more crowded on the visitor side, but it's still it makes for a nice evening there.
Yeah, well, that's to be expected when you have a Bradley crowd at Polk County High School, because that's a smaller division school. Their stands typically are not going to be as big.
Right.
But and probably next would be a toss-up between McMinn County and Cleveland. Neither one of them probably like hearing that.
The thing I don't like about either one of those, the thing I don't like about Cleveland's from watching a game, and it's a pretty decent to watch it, but to me, when you got a track that goes around the football field like that, and it takes you away from the field, when you're at Bradley, you feel like you're on top of the action,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you get to Cleveland, it's just when you're used to being right there, it just takes you further back, and it's harder to get a true good angled seat. If you sit too low, you can't, you lose a lot of vision, and so you kind of got to get up higher, I think.
Well, I don't like that so much. Then we've got some other fields that have the same situation, and the seating is not as nice either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you take Ray County, which has got a nice facility, and they've got artificial turf over there, but they've got a distance there, and their seating there is not as good as what Cleveland or McMinn counties either one are.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got a little bit of that going on. I have to concur with the Bullets on the worst stadium is Soddy Daisy. I make no bones about it. I'll tell it flat out. Soddy Daisy.
Well, speaking of this, Soddy, were you at that? We may have talked about this before. At that infamous rain game, or it just didn't rain. If you recall, it rained like monsoons. They either took the players off the field, or at halftime there was extended halftime. This was probably 10 years ago, probably more like 10 plus years ago, I guess.
Yep, I was there.
Yep. I was doing that thing for the infamous Red Zone. We'll leave out the corporate sponsor there, but down in Chattanooga, and I was perched up on the horseshoe end that had the bank on it, and like I was telling Tommy, I'm so glad I didn't. Occasionally, I'd venture down to the field just to get a feel of it, and I'm glad I did not that night. Did not take the initiative to go down. Glad I've refrained.
That was a nasty.
And it was even nastier Monday morning whenever you read what the nasty.
And then on top of that, you got the visitor side is still wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're standing on the wooden plank and you got a bunch of people and they move a little bit, you're rocking back and forth in no time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just not a quality field. Now I think they have fixed the sewage issue, but still at the same time, who in the Sam Hill thought of putting field lines underneath the football field in the first place?
It sure wasn't the guy that designed the Bear Stadium, I guess, there.
And I would, and from a vision, from what I remember, I would kind of think Red Bank was the same as far as, if I remember right, don't they have a track that goes around the field as well? And aren't you kind of...
Red Bank has a track around their field, too.
Yeah. So
did you remember the old Red Bank on campus football field there, Arnold?
Yeah, I went to a few games there.
Yeah, that thing was pretty rinky-dink from what I recall, and of course, again, there was a state record held there for many years, and I don't know, it still may stand today when the Bill Price quarterbacked Red Bank Lions played a home state championship game against the Gallatin Green Wave. There was, I think that it was recorded over 10,000. We talk about Bear Stadium holding 10,000. Can you imagine that old rinky-dink stadium holding a media published or estimated 10,000 people on that thing?
I think a few of them are hanging from the light pole.
That I wouldn't doubt, but I think the Bill Price and his team, who had pulled off some miracle games on the road to the state final there, came up a little short at 41-14, as I recall. The Gallatin Green Wave, they done upset the Red Bank Lions at home, but terrible rinky-dink.
And that was kind of an unusual situation because there's not very many state championship games that's played on a home field.
Yeah. I know in back in in 76, let's see, just some I think the Price game may have been in 78. So you got a better knowledge of this than me, that the Bear game in 76, Jackson Central Murray, was that on a neutral field?
Yes, that was at Middle Tennessee State.
So see, I know my recollection is right, that I feel like it's right, that after 76 that for whatever reason, Red Bank played that state final at home, and I don't know what the change in the venue was. If it's an experimental thing, a contract thing, it ran out with a neutral site.
Well, I think it was a 1-year type deal. Maybe it may have been a contract thing or something going on, but and I'm like you, I don't remember the exact circumstances on that. But most of the state championships up until recent years was played at Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
A few of them were played over at Vanderbilt there for a little while.
Yeah.
In the last few years, they've been at Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech, right, over there where they've got one locker room for 48 teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Put up bed sheets in between the stalls there to make a quad out of it, yeah.
Oh.
Never have understood that.
I will drop another little bombshell on you. Bradley played on 2 neutral sites that year.
In 76?
In 76.
So the state championship final was one of them. Give us a clue on the other.
Well, it was halfway between here and there.
Halfway between here and, you said Middle Tennessee. What was it now?
It was halfway between here and Kingsport and Dobbins Bennett.
Knoxville UT football stadium.
Nope.
That'd be too close. Maryville, Tennessee. Tennessee Wesleyan College.
Well, one of Bradley's most beloved coaches came from there.
Sevierville.
Right.
Wow, Sevierville. A neutral site game was played in the Bears state championship year of 76. Neutral site game. What was the circumstances around that? Do you recall?
That was just where they scheduled the football game. Was a neutral site. Maybe, of course, I was a senior in high school, so I wasn't privy to all the details of why at that particular time. Somebody else might be able to call in and tell us. But
was there any sightings of one Dolly Parton in the stands?
I tell you what, that particular night, I think it was so cold she stayed.
Yeah, I would want the brass monkey to freeze himself. Had to run home and put him in. Yeah.
She may have knocked down if she'd been there.
And that reminds me of that cold night up there in Cumberland County where I still think I died up there. I just had on my little windbreaker at home football game, the Bears in Cumberland County. My goodness.
Now that's a unique stadium.
Yeah, I think the field was more likened to a cow pasture for the coarseness and the roughness of it.
Well, it's not the greatest place in the world to watch a football game, but it's interesting because it's one of those stadiums where the visiting team fans and the home team fans all on one side.
Yep, I remember that.
But they have a parking area on the other side of the field, and people always back up their trucks and vehicles and everything to the field over there.
Oh, yeah?
Tailgate on the other side of the field to watch a football game from over there.
I remember it being open and kind of flat. I did not quite glean that, but like I say, I was too busy trying to strike a match to see if it was daylight, so to speak. It was awfully cold there, but yeah, Cumberland County.
Was that the year it snowed?
This was, I want to say, Dale Jones' senior year, perhaps. I don't think it snowed. It was just cold. I don't remember snow. That would have topped it off. I remember being cold as all heck.
It was along about that time I was over there for a football game, and it snowed while we was at the football game. We had to drive off the mountain on the snow-covered road.
Oh, goodness. I think I took the pep rally bus over there, which I don't know if they're extinct now or not, but definitely one of the coldest nights in a young Doc's. I was a senior then myself in '82, I believe. Well, all right, Arnold. So you're enjoying that the beautiful weather down there. Anything else to add to us here?
Oh, I'm enjoying the beautiful weather and had a very interesting weekend of racing, and we've got a great weekend coming up this weekend with the All-Star race being run in Charlotte. The 600 will be running next week. Probably the biggest news there, Kyle Busch is returning to racing.
Uh-oh.
After being missing 11 races from the entry at Daytona in the Xfinity race.
That was was that the break a leg race?
That was the break a leg race. So
yeah.
He's got that leg healed up, so he's coming back for the All-Star race. Probably the most controversy I've heard out of everything this week is the rule changes regarding his eligibility for the chase, which he has a chance to make the chase if he wins one race, like anybody else, wins a race he's in, if he's over 30th in points.
Does he have the same agent as Tom Brady?
No, not hardly. Tom Brady, that's a whole different ball of wax right there.
We won't open up old wounds. I think we wore that out in the first 18 minutes of the show. But
I figured you probably started out off with that.
Hey, man, I've been given each week I give a Ryan Castile update.
Yeah.
Man, he has torn it up the last week.
I saw something about that on the internet.
He right now is batting for the Isotopes, the Albuquerque Isotopes, AAA team of the Colorado Rockies. He's not starting every game, but in his last 3 games, well, first of all, he's batting for the year. He's batting .441.
good heavens.
In the last 3 games that he's played, he went 2 for 3, 4 for 3. 3 for 4. He went 2 for 3, 3 for 4, and 4 for 5. That's 9 hits out of his last 12 plate appearances.
Outstanding. I'm not even going to crack any jokes here and suggest the bat may be corked.
That's going to get him pulled up real quick to keep that up.
Right. He's right now his average .441 out of 59 at bats. He's got 26 hits, a triple, 6 doubles, a couple stolen bases, struck out 11 times, but he's just tearing it up there. And I don't see how they can continue to keep him out of the lineup.
AAA. Now, you may have mentioned it. Forgive me. Refresh my memory. The parent club is
The Colorado Rockies.
Colorado Rockies.
Yep. And he's splitting time there with one of their top prospects. But I tell you what, putting those kind of numbers up, I don't see how he can't be considered one of the top prospects there. When you look at his batting average this is his 5th year in the minors, he's had averages of 305, 273, 279, 270, 280, and now 441.
He must.
He's hitting at every level that he's at.
Good
2 years ago, he hit from Modesto in advanced A-ball. He hit 22 homers and 76 RBIs, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he was their affiliates leader in home runs.
Wow.
And then last year at Tulsa, he hit 16, while batting 280. His strikeout numbers are a little high. Had 118 2 years ago and 94 last year. But when you putting up 441 and you're here into the second month of the baseball season, month and a half into the season, that's pretty impressive.
Very good.
That's good play right there.
Yep. So we may see Mr. Castile up at the big club in September.
That would be awesome.
Of course, a 2009 graduate of Bradley Central High School.
Proud of the Bears.
I'm going to get off here and let somebody else call in, maybe correct us on some stuff.
We're never wrong.
I'm sure Red's batting on the bit to get in and say something about Georgia.
Oh, she's already called in and done that. So, but hey, even from Florida, from Alabama, Southern Alabama. Thanks for listening to us, Arnold. Thanks for jumping in with us for a little bit, and look forward to seeing you in here next week.
I'll probably be back around.
All right, sounds good. Y'all have a safe trip back.
Later.
All right,
buddy.
My co-host, one of our co-hosts, Arnold Tarpley, in here. Enjoying some beach weather, still having the radio on there, sitting on the balcony, listening to Whoop.
That's awesome. Thanks for him jumping in here.
I bet he's probably that's the furthest anybody's listening to us right now.
Our southernmost correspondent tonight.
That's right. If anybody else is listening from any further away than that, give us a call, 614-5553. Probably not, but hey, when I look at that, 9 out of the last 12, 7 out of the last 9 for Mr. Castile.
It's pretty good. Speaking of that, wasn't there somebody in Major League had hit some phenomenal 6 home runs in 3 games, or just in the last week or so?
And I don't remember who it was though.
Was it one Brave? I think.
Probably so. And I saw where Stanton of the Marlins hit that ball out of Dodger Stadium the other day. Did you see that one? About a 480-foot shot.
I meant to, and we got a fly in here, the first fly of the season, and Whoop Radio would come in on our show. I meant to make a mental note to when I checked the box score last year, I always made a beeline for the Dodgers to check on our boy Puig. Which I've yet to see his name in the box score this year. I don't know if he's back in Cuba or wherever. And then this year, my number one target when I flip open the sports page is to look at the Marlins to see if I've gave up on Puig for this year. So I'm looking for the Marlins Stanton, and I've lost sight of him here with all my sore tooth going on here. So apparently Mr. Stanton, at least he's had one good cut, $1 million cut.
Now when I turn it on, I look at whenever I pull them up just about every day. I'll pull up the box scores. I like to look at former Braves. Jeff Francoeur is a Philly, and he beat him a couple of weeks ago. Dan Uggla, of course, is a national. He hit his only home run of the year against Atlanta to beat them, but he's still batting around 200, 190, something like that.
He wasn't in the lineup here for the night preceding Thursday, May the 14th. In the Nationals.
So. But Francoeur has been in the lineup, and I tell you what, he's made some good defensive plays. That guy, that's the thing that's kept him in the league, is his arm and his defensive play. He can go get it.
What position again?
Right field.
Yeah,
he's played some left field, but
I remember him. Yeah, he didn't look all that impressive, but his as far as his physical.
When you get a chance, go to YouTube and just Google Jeff Francoeur's throws, and you'll see some. Him. I tell you what, there's one on there when he was with Kansas City, and he fielded a ball in mid-range right field, threw a guy out at third. The throw didn't. It was a no hop. I mean, it was right to the third baseman.
Just
the ball.
beeline.
Yeah, and he caught it at shoe level to where the guy just slid right into the tag. I mean, you just have to see it.
We'll Google that, Terry.
Yeah,
Mr.
Google.
Stanton. Here it is, Stanton from the Marlins in this 11-1 final score. The Marlins come up short. Stanton line stats here, 1 for 2, and carrying a $32 million a year of $252 average. At least in this lineup, he is 7th or so best on average of that lineup that was presented and played the other night. 7th out of 9 or so here. Of course, a pair of these are here, 143 hitters. I guess they're pitchers. Stanton, I don't know about the $32 million. Let's look down in the National League top stats. I'm failing to see Mr. Stanton's name in any of the leaders: batting, runs, RBIs, doubles. I'm failing to see the $32 million man. I mean, nope. RBIs, 30. Speak too soon. All right, he's not. I don't see him in runs. I see him in one major category, and he is not the leader. He's not. Yep, not the leader. Stanton. I still don't get it. $32 million.
Braves have thus far spent $131 million on their new stadium.
Oh, we spoke earlier. Somebody said the Atlanta Dome, or is that just my anticipation of
the football stadium will be a dome. The Braves' new stadium is up in Cobb County, right there at the
Cobb Pavilion.
It's going to be the SunTrust Stadium. SunTrust
really?
Park is what it's called.
That's fine. They pay their money.
Braves are 14-19, fourth place in the National League East, and let's see, they
14-19. Took a little trip.
Lost 3 in a row to the Reds. 2 out of 3 to the lost all 3 to the Nationals. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds. That's what it was, and
How many of the games this year have been blown by the bullpen?
Quite a few.
Par for the course. I think it was one with a 6-run debacle or so recently.
Yeah.
After the 8th inning or something, I'm like, par for the course, boys.
Yep. Yeah, they won the first game in Cincinnati, followed by 2 losses. They've lost 5 of the last 6. So they not so well for the homestanding Braves. And I think it's just going to get worse for this year. I just don't see them as being very competitive this year. And plus, I've never really thought highly of Freddie Gonzalez. I just don't think he's a very good manager. But what do I know about baseball?
Yeah, I think he was part of the brain trust that brought Ugly in at $17 million a year or whatever it was, wasn't he? You know, of course, he played for Gonzalez at Miami, I guess, prior, and he had decent numbers, but whatever reason, it fell out. The bottom fell out of it in the worst way possible. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm not really impressed with him either. I say bring back Bobby Cox.
No, I think
you won't go that far.
No, I've said this to a buddy of mine. We talk about it a lot. I think Terry Pendleton should be the next manager there.
Is he still at third base or
no? He's a bench coach.
Yeah,
but he may be first base coach.
He's still,
but he is on the coaching staff. I don't remember which position, but he is on the coaching staff.
That's good. I would too. I always smart player, heads up player. Was part of the Braves and had success with them there. Yeah, maybe he's biding his time there.
I hope so. I think he should.
I would have no problem with Mr. Pendleton at the helm of the Atlanta Braves.
And Arnold's still listening. He suggested the corn cob as the
a play on words. Yeah, yep. The first bell ringer of the night. There you go. Very, very good there. Yeah, that's. I just don't know about the. I'm imagining. I don't know how far the Cobb County, the stadium, is from downtown Atlanta. If it's
about a good 15 to 20 minutes. It's right there at where 75 and 285 come together.
On the chat.
On our side? Yeah, on our side. So that's good. And one of the selling points was about 40% of tickets that are sold there
are from that area.
Oh,
they keep
So
through the old barcode system, I guess.
Oh yeah. And so between that and you got a lot of people in North Georgia that are Braves fans, here in Chattanooga, Cleveland area. I think they'll get a lot more traffic going down that way. I mean, a lot more turnstile.
I'll tell you a surefire way to increase the Atlanta Braves home game attendance. Number one with a bullet.
When?
When?
Yeah, when.
When they put the maglev train in that does 300 miles an hour. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember the proposed maglev train from the Chattanooga airport to the Atlanta airport or so? It was going to do 300 miles an hour, and let's see, it was going to take, I think, $10 million just to do the environmental study, which I don't know if they've been passing around the hat for 15 years now. I think that's when I first heard of it 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Still in there. You could get on a maglev train and drive to Chattanooga and be on it, or hell, let it come to Cleveland for that matter. You see Atlanta Braves home game and back in your own bed and all in one night.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that be something?
Nah, usually when I go to Braves games, I still get home.
You still get home,
but it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Just think what that cut off your drive time there.
Yeah,
cut off your fatigue.
Now, when I'd go as a kid, it didn't bother me a bit to do that. I'd get them go to school the next day. In fact, the 3 games in the World Series in '91 were on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, though.
And game started at 8 o'clock. Me and my dad went down Tuesday night. We got home about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Good heavens.
I went to school the next morning. He picked me up after school. Actually, my mom picked me up that day, Wednesday, for
3
that game.
consecutive nights. You're
Yep.
going.
And I
Good
went down
heavens.
there, and I made it to school each day.
You deserve an award, Ironman award,
I
sir.
was,
I thought I was.
16 at the time, 15, 16 at the time. I could do it then.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that right now.
Yeah, I used to recall laying out all night long, going back to the salt mine, another salt mine branch back in the day. I thought it was funny, but now it wouldn't work either.
Yeah, I remember in college, my first freshman year of college. No, actually, it was my third freshman year of college. Me and two buddies of mine. No, actually, it was three buddies of mine. We went over. Tennessee played in Memphis against Ole Miss on a Thursday night. It was 96. Got out of class at 11 o'clock that afternoon. Drove all the way to Memphis. Watched the game. Got in the car. Drove all the way back, and I made it to my 8 o'clock class the next morning.
Good heavens!
And then I went home and crashed.
I would say you did. Wow, that's a feat right there. All the way into the was it the Liberty Bowl?
The Liberty Bowl
Outdoor stadium.
Yep.
That outdoor stadium. So you I hear you right? Did you say Tennessee and
Ole Miss?
Ole Miss. Yeah, it was a neutral site.
Yeah.
Neutral site game, for whatever reason.
Well, it's only about an hour from Oxford, and the stadium's a little bigger. And that was back when Ole Miss wasn't quite as, quite as prominent as they are now. And so a lot of times Tennessee would play their games up there. They didn't play them very often, and they would play their home game, or Ole Miss would play their home game at Memphis. I know of a couple of times that they did that. And, I made it over there. I actually made it to Memphis twice that year. Tennessee played at Memphis. That was the year that one of the Cobb brothers, ran that kickback against
the
Tennessee.
same year, but obviously not the same game.
Right.
Yeah. And help me out here. My mind's drifting back. Memphis, the Liberty Bowl. Where in Memphis is the Mid-South Coliseum?
Mid-South.
Is that just a concert venue? Mid-South Coliseum.
I don't know, because it's now the FedEx Arena is where the
our former blast in the past, Doug Mizell, former Whoop radio host here, one of the ones in its infancy, these call letters here, if I'm not mistaken, used to live in Memphis, and he mentioned many times the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So could that have formerly been known, or later known as the Liberty Bowl? It's inquiring minds want to know. The Mid-South Coliseum.
No, I think the Liberty Bowls had that name throughout. Now there was you got
Mid-South Coliseum.
You got the FedEx Arena now in Memphis. I believe that's what it's called.
FedEx Arena. That's Mid-South
the
Coliseum. I'm going to say this. I want to say it was football. Mid-South, SOUTHCO. It ain't going to spell it out for me, is it here? Mid-South Coliseum 2015. That sounds like a Mid-South Coliseum. Inquiring minds want to know. Mid-South Coliseum was a multi-purpose arena located in Memphis, Tennessee that seated 10,008, according to Wikipedia. Address, Early Maxwell Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee. Capacity 10,085. Who was the primary home team there?
The University of Memphis Tigers?
Memphis Sounds. Is that not a AAA, AA? It shows a domed. I'm not pulling your leg. I'm lying if I'm dying. Mid-South Coliseum, Memphis, Tennessee. So
I don't know. Click on the link there and see. See about
Sounds.
that.
What if the Sounds Wikipedia said was an American professional sports franchise. Memphis Sounds, Memphis 1970, 75. Woo, as a member of the American Basketball Association.
The ABA.
And later on, there was a team in there called the Memphis Pros from 70 to 72. Remember ABA, Memphis Tams also play there. So the Mid-South Coliseum. Now, I remember as being a young man in the 80s that I would occasionally hear on the powerful 100,000 watts of WSKZ, that's part we ought to say, that there would be concerts at the Mid-South Coliseum and also the Birmingham Civic Center. Those were the arena type rockers. So I'd heard of the Mid-South Coliseum there. I'm not sure that it's probably defunct by now, but speaking of all that, it brings up a thought here, and maybe it's not as far-fetched to you as it is to me, a young man of, well, we won't say it out loud, but to have professional basketball in Tennessee, to have professional football in Tennessee, pro teams in our
and don't forget professional hockey.
Professional hockey, ding, 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 ring the bell. 3 professional franchises in our short lifetime have evolved. It's almost like we thought we've died and gone to a nice place. Would you have ever fathomed that?
No, as a kid I wouldn't.
No, me either.
I think within 10 years we'll have a baseball team.
That would be absolutely the cherry on top.
I think we'll probably see one, and it won't be an expansion. I think that it'll be a relocation. I think probably Tampa. I could see them.
You talking about?
I could see them leaving.
And the whole city would be. It's either one of two, and we've talked about both of them.
I think Nashville. I think if you're a sports team, you've got to look at being in the middle of the state there. Memphis, yeah, but I think the Nashville area, with the different interstate systems all coming together, you've got all fans from everywhere that come in.
Well,
if Nashville can support a hockey franchise, then I think it could support any sport.
Hell, look at the empty stands at the most any you name the team.
The Marlins.
Yeah.
The Marlins.
Oh, the Braves for that matter.
Well, yeah, and the Braves though, winning will do that. One little note about the Mid-South Arena.
Yeah.
It was big for wrestling back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I see here is an action photo, a game, an American Basketball Association between the Memphis Tams and the New Jersey Nets. A decked out number, I guess he wore 35. It appears to be Julius Erving.
The Dr. Irving.
Back in the day, the only man to ever win scoring titles in both the now defunct American Basketball Association and the National NBA. And I think the other piece of that trivia is he also the only person to win scoring titles. Scoring titles both, backtracking here, to be named most valuable player in both leagues as well.
One thing Arnold brought up, just on joining us in here and via text, of course, if Nashville did get a baseball team, they would lose the Nashville Sounds. If the team went into a major league team came in, but
what would be a popular nickname for the Nashville? To adopt that in Nashville Hillbillies. I can hear it coming.
Well, you got two sporting teams there now that have nothing to do with Nashville, really. I mean, the Titans and the Predators.
Yeah,
I mean, those don't really have a true Nashville.
They do not. Of course, little did we forget, or no, we don't forget that the Titans franchise played how many years in Memphis there at the
one
at the Liberty Bowl itself.
Yeah, they played
Liberty Bowl property.
Yeah, they played one season there, and they also played a few home games at Vanderbilt Field.
That's right.
At Dudley Field.
That's right. I had forgotten about that. How unique was that transition from for fairly young, I wouldn't say seasoned head coach at that time, Jeff Fisher. Well, what we've learned here tonight about the former Mid-South Coliseum and the Memphis Tams back in the day. newspaper articles here. Good Lord, as I've using the internet for, like in '73, may have been the highlight, the heyday of the Mid-South Coliseum. Nevertheless, just Doc and Tommy here rattling on. Thanks again to those of you looking on the World Wide Web at WOOPFM 99.9.
Arnold said, that the Sounds could, or if Nashville took a major league team, then they could always adopt the Sounds nickname, which would be kind of unprecedented. I don't know many. Atlanta had a minor league team before the Braves came to town. They became they were at the time the Crackers. Then the Braves went over to the Braves. I know Washington had. I'm sure they've had minor league teams over the years. I can't think of who it was, but I'm sure they did.
Yeah, some of those minor league nicknames get kind of on the way out there.
Well, you know what Albuquerque is?
Wigwams. Let me
nope,
guess.
The Isotopes.
You mentioned that earlier. I did kind of catch my Isotopes. That's
there's a lot of good ones. You got the Montgomery Biscuits.
Montgomery Biscuits. Wow.
Mobile or the Bay Bears, I believe.
Mobile Bay Bears. Yeah. Was it one time? Was the Knoxville Smokies?
Well, now it's the Tennessee Smokies.
Tennessee Smokies. Okay. Yeah.
I think it was Knoxville Smokies for a while, but before that, I think they were the Knoxville Jays whenever they were a minor league organization for the Blue Jays.
I believe the Blue Jays, because I believe that's where at one time he had the home run record there for many years. Played first base, oversized. His son went on to play and have some pretty good success. It'll come to me here in a minute. Fielder. I saw him fielder play in a minor league game at that park in the 80s. I drove over there from when I was living in Maryville, Tennessee. In the 80s. That had been prior to 85, probably more like 84.
Mm-hmm.
I did play in a game over there. I did see him play.
You got the Birmingham Barons.
Oh, the old Barons.
Now defunct Huntsville Stars.
Huntsville Stars. While we're on this name game here, I want him.
And speaking of, you said Maryville. I think once I go to Maryville this year, if I get a chance to go to that one, the Bradley game there, that will probably jump into my number 2 stadium.
My independent recollection of that, it's close to the street. You could drive by.
Yeah, and you see
the field.
And it goes kind of high from what I remember. So I mean,
I've never been on the field, the campus proper itself there, just driven by it. And I have been on the campus of one of the others, Blunt. I believe Blunt or Heritage, but never on the Maryville campus. It's brick, looks like a classy, almost looks like a private school to me at first glance when you drive by there. The financial piece that it appears to represent there. I was going to, in 20 minutes of show here, rattle on, see how many of these, and I haven't Googled it over here, how many the former, of course that would go way back for you, and really it goes back for both of us, the now defunct, talking about defunct and Deflategate here tonight, the defunct NFL franchise, what was it called, Herschel Walker.
Oh, the USFL?
USFL. Mm-hmm. The first one that comes to mind, and I promise I hadn't Googled it, but the Memphis Showboats.
The Memphis Showboats, the Birmingham
Let's see. USFL. Let's see. I want to say that it was Tampa Bay Lightning. No, is that the hockey team?
No, that's the hockey team. Tampa Bay was the Bandits,
you may be right on it. I want to say the New Jersey Generals. And do you remember?
Doug Flutie was a general, wasn't he?
I believe he was. And can we name 3 to 5 people who landed in the NFL eventually that signed big money contracts coming out of college or the free agent route? Obviously, the number
Flutie.
I've got a couple in mind. He had success with Los Angeles, what do they call it, the Gunslingers or Pistols, or his name's coming to me. He had success with San Francisco as quarterback, Steve Young.
Yeah. You're on Good Sports.
Y'all got me messed up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's all cold.
We're going from subject to subject right now, and Doc somehow got on the USFL. Don't ask me how.
Don't ask
league
me
that
either.
was a football league that was in existence for about 2 or 3 years back in 84, 85, and 86, maybe, or maybe 83 to 85, something like that.
Oh, okay.
One of the coaches coached Tampa Bay Bandits was a young Steve Spurrier.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yep.
Red.
Yeah.
So you got your tickets already to the Tennessee Georgia game. See, it's at Tennessee. You gonna
Yeah, I won't go to that.
watch it on your own.
I'll watch it at home.
Watching at home there, huh? Yeah. Oh, we're just we're really struggling for material here. We
Did you do the NASCAR minute?
Yeah, you did, Arnold. You missed it. Arnold called in with the NASCAR Minute.
Well, I was busy. Somebody called me, and I didn't get to hear it.
Yeah. Basically, Kyle Busch is coming back this week. The All-Star.
All right.
Yeah. You would like Kyle Busch.
I love him.
Bush.
Favorite driver.
But yeah, that was about all the news that he had.
Yeah, he's excited about Kyle Busch coming back from the old break a leg accident. Was it opening day? I guess.
Well, I'm tickled to death. I'm glad old Wild Thing's coming back.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, well, we know you don't like it.
Oh, Wild Thing.
That's what I call him, because he's crazy. He'll take chances when nobody else won't.
Yeah, is that what did get his leg broke? Yeah, I have no clue.
He hit a brick wall, I reckon.
About 180. That'll do it.
Yeah, that or it broke his neck, but it just broke his legs.
Good heavens. Glad Mr. Bush is still with us on Green's Earth here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
If I had killed him, I would never watched it no more.
I'm not a big fan of him,
Right.
but I still wouldn't want him to get hurt.
No, I don't want to see nobody get hurt.
No.
But I do like to see them have wrecks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of the reasons to tune in and watch a NASCAR race.
Yeah, that's the best part of it.
Yeah.
They have a big pile of.
Absolutely. Take out about 12, 15 cars at one time. That's
And two of them jump out and try to fight, and then they'll part them. Why don't they let them fight?
just let them go at it, you know?
Beat the hair off each other, and then get back in their car and go on.
That's right.
That'd settle it right there.
Oh,
Yep. He crashed at Daytona in the Xfinity race on Saturday and hit the inner wall head on at about 180. That's per our good friend Arnold.
Well, I'm glad Arnold keeps up with stuff like that.
He does. I am too. Because I'm, I know my college football, but we need Arnold to give us. If you want to know something about area sports, Arnold's your guy. If you want to know NASCAR, if you're not listening on Tuesday to those guys, then Arnold would be your guy.
Well, I quit listening on Tuesday, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well.
So I'm on this now for my NASCAR.
Well, there you go. Well, then we got a service to uphold, then, don't we?
yeah, we got to expand the NASCAR minute to
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
One more question, though. Doctor, are you going to be on Saturday night?
I am not. I would love to. I got
Oh,
I got the salt mine, and
I've got this song I want you to play.
I'm sure you do there, Red. You're trying to get me to work on my tan. I know you, girl.
Okay.
What song you wanting to hear?
You don't
Check me in about 3 weeks there. I think we got it worked out with the salt mine. About 3 weeks from this Saturday night. Just hold on. Spread the good word.
All right.
All right, girl.
Bye.
Oh, well, Tommy, I'll dream all night here. I wish I hadn't done this now. Or if you can stand any more of it. I had forgotten, but with the Gamblers and who the nickname of the Gamblers, one Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly was a high-dollar guy.
Scott Norwood. Wasn't he a long-time kicker with the NFL team, Scott Norwood, or was he a quarterback?
I think he was a kicker.
Let's go on here. The
Miss
Panthers.
This 80s minute was brought to you by Tab Cola.
No, I saw some movie the other night. The Showboats we talked about. Get this. Somebody was the Invaders. It doesn't. It's Gary Plummer. I remember that name.
He was a quarterback for the
Plummer. You got Maulers. There was a Plummer. Was a quarterback. It was Detroit, wasn't it? It was Detroit.
I don't remember.
Ricky Sanders with the Gamblers. Generals. New Jersey Generals here.
Herschel was a general, wasn't he?
Steve Young. Here he is.
That's right.
Number 8. Steve Young, the L.A. something here. L.A. Express.
Yeah.
L.A. Express.
And he played his college ball at?
Notre Dame.
No. Brigham Young.
I was close.
He's a Mormon.
Let's go on for.
Jerry Sandusky was going to go coach for BYU.
Really?
Yeah. Then they told him it wasn't Brigham Young; it was Brigham Young, that's when he stayed at Penn State.
Staying out.
He went from Penn State to the State Penn.
Vince Evans, nickname of his team was the Blitz.
Yeah.
Blitz. Vince Evans, Anthony Carter, wide receiver. His name Panthers. I guess that's probably Carolina.
Nah,
that would be too obvious. Bandits, Invaders. Let's see, I think I've run out of teams here. The whole 8 teams or whatever. Oh, the Bulls. Surely it wasn't Chicago.
No.
USFL Premier. Pretty good stars here. Let's see as I flip on through it. Anything else to catch our eye here? Steve Young, an action photo here.
Do you know who the commissioner of that? I think it was a commissioner. If it wasn't a commissioner, it was the owner of one of the teams.
One of the wrestling guys.
No, that was the XFL. That was after. Donald Trump.
I think it was Generals.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that Donald Trump signed. I do not see a card here of Reggie White. Do not see one of. Maybe this is specifically the 1984 year here that I'm flipping through and boring us to death with. But what do you get? What else can you do here on we get a 132 piece complete set of cards here for the now defunct USFL for $99.99. What do you think? Is that a bargain?
That's a bargain.
Most people never heard of.
And since we're visiting 1984, we'll just go ahead and patronize a couple of our sponsors that would have been in '84. You got Tab Cola, Pepsi Free.
Yeah. Was it New Coke around then?
Nope, not yet. That was later '80s, '86 or '88, wasn't it?
More like New Coke. I've still got one of those cans somewhere. The top advertisers, the 80s. I know Ron Moore had a show recently on things you can't get anymore, and a lot of them were defunct in the decade of the 1980s. As I was listening to his show, you can't go in a game room anymore and plop in a quarter and play Pac-Man and Space Invaders. And Lord, we're getting way out in left field now, but the decade of the 80s. And I don't remember the play. It may have been was it Flutie to Phelan in the Orange Bowl? I think that may have been voted college football's most exciting play, the play of the decade. I'm not sure if it made it play of the century. Maybe the California Bears with the band running on the field in an earlier decade of the 80s may have. They may have been number one, number 2. I can't remember. Rattling, hurting for material here. So is my tooth. But,
and be sure to go out and buy you a Swatch watch.
Swatch watch, yeah.
Some Guess jeans, and your members only jacket.
Members only jacket.
I mean, since we're stuck in the 80s here.
Some last 11 minutes of the show here. Our Swatch watch. I had a Star Wars watch, and I got to where I thought it was a little too juvenile, and I took black electrical tape and put over the Star Wars logo, so it was just like generic black watch. But things of the 80s, 70s was clackers, and let's see, we're struggling for material here on a Thursday night. Things that make you go, the 1980s. Any other major sponsors over our Swatch watch? Yeah, that was big, real big. I'm sure there's a junkyard file of them somewhere.
Getting back to you were talking about Blount County.
Yeah.
William Blount. That's one of those wonderful stadiums with one side of bleachers. There's only one side, the home and visitors both. are on the same side.
Blunt. I can't remember why I was over there one night for a home football. I was probably in the 80s when I was working up there in Maryville, Tennessee at the time. The Governors of William Blunt, I think their colors are orange and blue predominantly, or may have been for that.
They were at that time. They had a helmet that looked like, I know 10 years ago they had a helmet that looked like the Florida Gators.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it spelled out Govs like that.
Govs, the old Blunt glove.
Blunt gloves?
As I'm jiggling around this chewing gum-esque like patch inside of my mouth here. Well, we've just been all over the horn here, Tommy. What we learned here tonight, we learned that Tom Brady is
a cheater
in deep stew, and
Peyton Manning is a saint.
Peyton Manning's a saint, and here was a news of note. Refresh my memory. I've been meaning to do the research on this. Help me out here. We did learn that, perhaps not confirmed, that the Tennessee, the Big Orange football Vols will be opening up their 2017 season, perhaps, versus the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets or Engineers. Which one?
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets.
The Texters.
Texters.
Right there, about 2 miles from
Bobby Dodge Stadium.
Yep.
Or so.
At the new
Sun, whatever they're going to call it.
Whatever they're going to call the football
Whoever's
stadium.
got the most money.
Yeah. Who's got the most money in Atlanta Stadium.
And then refresh my, and I'm actually, the handwritten note I have here is actually date question mark. Is it in the upcoming football season when the proposed game between the Tennessee Big Orange and the Virginia Tech?
That's next year. That's 2016.
2016.
At the
do you have the date on that? I'm going to put in. I'm going to be at that game.
Hmm?
I'm going to be there.
I'll be there.
Heck or high water. I may have to sell my trophy or my disco record collection to
I bet you won't
trip.
sell that.
to finance a trip. Well, on second thought, maybe I'll just I'm not going to say that either, but somehow I'll come up with the money. I mean, if any Tennessee Vol fan, you've got to be at that game.
You'll just have to stay away from the Dewdrop Inn for about 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Yeah, about 2 weeks worth of tabs. You should be able to afford that trip, right?
That's not far from the truth. I will be at that game. Heck or high water, as long as my let's see, that's going Virginia Tech. Oh, it's in Bristol.
Yeah,
Bristol.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 120 miles from here.
No, it's more than that. It's about 190.
Yeah.
Because
I'm not going to be able to walk that far.
No, you're not going to be able to walk that far because it's about 80 miles to the.
Unless I start right now.
From here.
Yeah, I think the sign right here in front of Whip Studio says Knoxville 81. So, yeah. So, anyways, that's going to be a. When you first heard of that, and I don't think we've talked about it before, that proposed date, what were your initial thoughts?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, they're going to end up with more than likely the biggest crowd in the history of college football at a football game. Again, it's just another example of Butch Jones doing something to get Tennessee's name out there again, something mentioned in a positive light. You've had so much negativity around the program the last, before he got there. He's pushing all the right buttons, and he's just doing everything the right way. And I think it's a great idea. You look at 180,000 people at a football game, and it's the matchup is a perfect matchup because you've got Georgia Tech, which is 120 miles roughly, or 180 miles from Bristol, and Tennessee is about 180 miles. Both teams should bring a good number of fans. I think you'll have a lot of casual fans that you got an opportunity to turn. I think it's a win-win-win situation.
As we're looking at the artist's rendition of the proposed setup here, well, Yeah, the stands are full, so they got a pretty good premonition here. But yeah, what 130, 120, 130,000 people in excess. I know it's more than that, wouldn't it be?
It'd be 180.
180,000. I hear you. Wow.
Because I mean, you figure. I mean, the stands there hold what 150, 180. I mean, 150, 160, and then you figure they're going to have the bleachers, some side bleachers there and everything. And
wow.
So yeah, I think
that's my thoughts. I thought that's great.
And from a recruiting standpoint, what better way to be able to go in last year and this year into recruits' homes and say, hey, look, you come to play for us, and you're going to play in the biggest, attended football game in the history of college football.
It may be. Well, there may be. I wouldn't think there's a soccer game that's exceeded 180,000.
No, there's no way.
Even if it falls short of a sellout. Good heavens! Wow, what a.
And it's going to help that Tennessee, the momentum that he's had with recruiting, and then coming off the bowl game, and everything. The fact that Tennessee's winning again. That's going to help a lot too. Getting the crowds in there, getting that place filled up.
Absolutely, yes. The battle at Bristol.
Yep.
September of 2016, specifically September the 10th date there. Wow.
I mean, put it like this: a 6-6 Tennessee team went down to Jacksonville 4 months ago and played in front of roughly 50,000 Tennessee fans.
And dominated the game, I would
and
say.
This game's 3 hours from home and everything, coming off a year that I think they're going to have a good year this year.
Look, Tommy, Butch Jones already been scouting out the stadium.
Well, yeah.
Just like we thought he would be, Johnny on the spot.
So, look forward to it. I just, the way they painted the infield area of Bristol, I hope they're going to put grass down, not play it on concrete. That would hurt.
Yeah, I have not heard any or seen any media published reports whether the field is going to be sod and or artificial.
I'm not really sure.
That's irrelevant, but I guess in the long. Oh, look here, Butch has already signed a big. There's his signature.
Yeah, they had last year at the Busch race. They had a car that was orange.
You got to be kidding.
No, it was I think it was the Xfinity Series race. Correct me if I'm wrong, Arnold, but if he's still listening.
You're kidding me. They had a big orange car out there.
Click on that picture.
Oh, George, right there it is. Was Smokey the driver?
Yeah, Smokey was the driver, and his feet kept getting in the way though, and he still wrecked less than Danica Patrick in that race. So.
The question is, what did he do with that long tail he is? Yeah, flapping in the wind there. Well, I'm excited about this now that I've looked at the proposed artist rendition, the color action photos there. Well, they've already gotten two tickets for sale here.
Yeah.
I'm on row P. All righty then.
Get you a couple of tickets
in advance. Buy them now. Get them in advance before they go up.
Yep.
Well, all right, guys.
Well, everybody, thanks for listening to us to rambling on rather. We'll be back in here with you next week, more than likely. Doc, you'll be at the salt mine next week?
I had burnt my bridges up here tonight, and I may be a little better focused next week without any being on any Tylenol from the dentist chair. I plan on being here, sir. Long story short, there's your answer.
All right, good deal. Well, everybody, thanks for listening, and hope we didn't get off topic too bad with it for you, but come back with us next week, and we'll try to talk a little more sports. For Doc, it's Tommy. For Arnold, y'all have a great week. See ya.